And a very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to NAIA Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com today. A matchup between Vanguard University and the University of Antelope Valley in a non-conference matchup for both teams. Coming into action today, Vanguard University with a record of 27-7. They are 15-5 in conference. Meanwhile, Antelope Valley with a record of 5-2 overall, just 3-2 in conference play. This a one-off for both teams before both teams return to conference play. Almost set to go as we get a look at left-handed hurler Justin Graves, who gets the call today for Vanguard, and leading things off for Antelope Valley. It's going to be Gomez. So Gomez set in, and there is a look at the left-hander Graves. Into the wind. Here is the first pitch of the ball game on the inside corner for strike one. Try to set the defense for you here for Vanguard as we're just underway in the top of the first. Graves with a long look. Here's the pitch to Gomez. Swung on and fouled back out of play quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. Graves ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch just off the outside corner for ball one.
Look pretty close.
Brian Gomez in left field today comes in batting .375. 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. Again, Graves tries that outside corner and misses. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. First batter, we're just underway. A beautiful day for baseball from Costa Mesa.
How would you know?
Right? I do want to let people in on something new that we're unveiling, as this one is fouled back toward the screen, giving chase and just running out of room as Luke Arias behind the plate for Vanguard. And should know for those that maybe are familiar with SoCal College sports, or even if you're not, we're unveiling a new process here that we're working on today. So this is an exciting day for us. Mike Cepeda is ably manning things at the ballpark, producing and directing the broadcast, and hopefully joining us as well. But I am actually remote from my own home calling the game here in my own very living room. This is something new that's coming on that you're seeing in more places, and we are very excited to try this. And so it is going to be something of a learning curve for us, but we're cautiously optimistic. I know Mike has been working very hard to get this together. So hopefully this is something that we can add to our repertoire, and it's going to allow us to hopefully cover more events for you and bring more live sports to you. Payoff pitch now to Gomez. Good cut, and he fouled it back to the screen. So Gomez doing the job as a leadoff hitter here. He is getting ready to see his 7th pitch of the at-bat, and that's what you want. Your guy at the top of the order is get that starting pitcher on the mound working right away. Give everybody in that lineup a chance to see more pitches. The payoff pitch. Fastball on the ground, left side, and it's through for a base hit. So Gomez gets things going with a base hit. Leadoff man aboard.
Now batting for the Pioneers, center fielder number 9, Keola Villoria.
That'll bring up Keola Villoria. Villoria batting .387 on the season, no home runs, 9 runs batted in. So Gomez at first, you see on the split screen. Nice, Michael. You always give me something new to work with here. And Villoria looking to lay one down, and he fouls it away for strike one.
Well, the book, according to Matt Robinson, who calls games at UAV for the Pioneers, is that the Pioneers very aggressive on the base path, so something to keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out and picture-in-picture.
Yeah, another interesting stat is Vanguard on the season outscoring their opponents by a 2-1 margin over the first 5 innings. So they are a potent offense that likes to jump on you early in many of their games this season. And no doubt for Coach Neil White and Antelope Valley, getting a run or two on the board right away here might serve to get them off to the start that they want and maybe get them in the right frame of mind working against a team in Vanguard that's been pretty dominant this season with a record of 27-7. As Valoria is able to just reach out and foul that one away. No balls, 2 strikes.
Stoy, did I read correctly? 5 losses since March 19th for Vanguard?
I don't recall it. I thought they just came off a 2-2 4-game set.
Yeah.
That was against Hope International, excuse me. And those are the top 2 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
So not a big surprise there, but obviously that was a tough stretch, but they did acquit themselves with a split in the 4-game set. So it is possible that the record has dropped off a little bit, but maybe as much as anything is starting to see some tougher opponents as well. A wave and a miss from Valoria, who goes down on strikes.
I think we
Or
can
out
see that
number
one more
one.
time.
Now batting first base number 36, Manny Perez.
Nice off-speed pitch.
That'll bring up Perez. Manny Perez batting 182 on the season. 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. And again, Gomez with a short lead at first, but it'll draw a throw from Graves. Perez with a home run in his last game in Antelope Valley. Their 3-game set against La Sierra. Graves ready from the belt. Here's the pitch and the fastball high and away for a ball.
This is a team in UAV that can put up some runs, but the only problem is they like to give up a lot of runs too. So for informational purposes only, take the over today.
You're liking the over today? I saw where you were going. Breaking ball in there for a strike, a ball and a strike, and looks like Graves likes to go with a fastball and good hard slider. 1-1 on Perez. Dominic Enbody waits on deck. Runner at first. 1 down, just underway. We'll throw it. Now they got him hung up between first and second. Gomez gonna be called out. No. Okay, they're going to call. I believe that was a balk. That was a little awkward, Michael. I don't know if we have the replay on it, but I think they're going to award Gomez second, and I believe it was a balk. It was. I haven't really seen that move to first. It looked like Graves almost at the last moment sort of threw off the back foot there. And yeah, pretty quick call there as they had him hung up, but balk going to give Gomez second.
Didn't look like he stepped off here.
So a ball and a strike on Perez. As you get one more look at the replay there, and the call comes in, and Gomez heading to second.
Yeah, there was a pitch. 2-1 now here, Stoy. Live action.
Ready? 2 balls and a strike on Perez. Graves ready. Bouncing ball back up the middle. It's a base hit. Gomez rounding third and going to send him home, and he's going to be safe. Just beating the throw on 1 hop, an RBI single for Perez. And Antelope Valley will grab the early 1-0 lead.
Now batting for the Pioneers, catcher number 10, Dominic Enbody.
RBI single for Perez. First pitch to Enbody in there for a strike. Graves working, and that one cued foul. And N-Body quickly in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. N-Body batting .348 on the season, no home runs, 6 runs batted in. Moves back and forth between catcher and first base, splitting time with Will Garcia for Antelope Valley. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Chopped foul. So the count remains 0-2. Start to set the defense for you. It's Aki Buxton in left, Landon Riker in center, Grady Connor in right. For Vanguard, 0-2 to N-Body. Popped up behind home plate and out of play. Chad Sutton at third, Travis Aversa at short, Isaiah Lee, the second baseman, Joe Johnson at first, Luke Arias behind the plate, and Justin Graves on the mound.
Travis Aversa at short. Shout out to Joe, his dad, scout for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's the neighbor.
One crowd. There you go. And another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's Diaz, not Arias, behind the plate, and I do want to make that correction. Swung on and lifted to right. Back in front of the track, and Connor's got it to retire N-Body.
Now batting for the Pioneers, shortstop number 4, Tyler Van Marder.
2 down, and Perez remains at first as you get a look at the replay. That'll bring up Van Marder. First pitch, and Graves pumps it in there for a strike. So it's Oscar Diaz behind the plate, and I apologize. I believe I misidentified him behind the plate a couple of times, but Diaz gets the call. Today, another off-speed pitch in there for a strike. For a little bit of a struggle here in the first inning, Graves has actually located his pitches pretty well. He's been able to get out in front of the hitters. And a good piece of hitting from Perez on the RBI single earlier to give UAV the lead. Left side, moving over, it's Aversa to throw across in time to retire Van Marder and the side. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Through half an inning, UAV 1, Vanguard coming to bat.
number 33, Travis Aversa.
Bottom of the first. Andrew Garcia, the right-hander on the mound for UAV. They grab a 1-0 lead. He will work to Aversa, Riker, and Buxton. Here at the bottom of the first. And here is the left-hander. Travis Aversa comes in batting .371, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Fastball just high for ball 1. One-0 pitch from Garcia at the knees for a called strike. And there is a look at Travis Aversa, batting from the left side, just outside for a ball, 2 balls and a strike. We saw Gomez have a good at-bat leading things off for a UAV that ended up in a base hit and eventually a run scored. And Aversa ahead in the count now, 2 balls and a strike. Garcia ready. Bouncing ball up the middle, another base hit. So Aversa
Now batting center fielder number 3,
aboard with a leadoff single. That'll bring up Landon Riker.
Just take those old records.
Riker, part of a very potent top of the lineup. 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in, batting .345 on the season. We'll have to be a little bit careful with our field microphone. They're going with a lot of copyrighted music here, and why shouldn't they? At the ballpark. And of course, we're streaming to YouTube, and happy you've joined us. A ball and no strikes. The count now on Riker with Buxton. A power threat waiting on deck. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
You saying something bad about Bob Seger?
Never. I think we all know that's not possible, sir. I've been talking about how great Bob Seger is for well over an hour now. Here's the 1-1 pitch and a throw over and Aversa back. Yeah, both these teams statistically have been more than solid at the plate up and down the lineup, so expect to see some runs on the board today before it's all said and done. Big cut and a miss. Riker down in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes. Garcia has one he likes, back to the fastball, lifted to center. Playable for Valoria, who has it for the out.
Now batting for the Lions, left fielder number 8,
1 down.
Aki Buxton.
And that'll bring up Aki Buxton. And my thanks to the PA announcer that I can hear on our field microphone for the pronunciation. So Aki Buxton. We'll be going with that. Buxton, the left fielder, stands in. The fastball inside for a ball. Try to set the defense for you for Antelope Valley as well, with Gomez in left, Valoria in center, Miranda in right. So there is Aki Buxton, who stands in 11 home runs on the season to go with 22 runs batted in and an average of .362. Again, inside, there goes the runner, the throw down, and they've got him. And I got to tell you, Michael, I don't think that was much of a jump for Aversa. Pretty good pitch to handle. A little bit high and inside as we watch. Pretty short lead and the throw down, but they got him by a good step.
Indeed.
So just like that, the base runner erased. 2 down. Good execution by Antelope Valley. That one misses low and away. Mike, help me out with the count. Is it
I have
2-1 or 3-0?
It's 3-0.
3-0. Yep, okay, thank you. So 2 down, bases empty. And with a guy at the plate with 11 home runs on the season, it's good to get rid of a base runner when you can. See if Buxton has the green light, 3-0. He takes that one at the knees for a strike. 3 balls and a strike. Ogle at third, Van Marder at short, Bueno at second, N-Body at first for Antelope Valley. Or, excuse me, I want to correct that. Perez at first, N-Body behind the plate, and Garcia on the mound. That one back to the screen, but it won't matter. It's a 2-out walk.
Now batting for the Lions, first baseman number 7, Joe
For
Johnson.
Buxton. And that'll bring up Joe Johnson. Johnson on the season, batting .265, 4 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Left-handed hitting first baseman.
How much did you want to say? You next, Joe? Wow.
Swung on and lifted to right, back to the wall. And it's out of here.
Coming in to score number 8,
Johnson goes downtown, and
number 7,
just
Joe
when it looked like
Johnson
the
with a home run.
rally here in the first might be snuffed out with a caught stealing, it's a walk and a bomb from Johnson, and it's 2-1 Vanguard.
Now batting for the Lions, third baseman number 22, Chad Sutton.
So that'll bring up Sutton. It's Garcia. He'll settle himself and go back to work. Well, we promised offense, and we've got it. Already 5th home run on the season for Joe Johnson, and it's a welcome sight for Joe Johnson, who had been struggling of late, just 1 for 15 in his last 5 games. And he is no doubt elated to get himself perhaps off the schneid a little bit with that one. A ball and no strikes. Cut, and it's foul back and out of play by Sutton. Count evened up at a ball and a strike. There is a look at Garcia. That one again misses way outside. So 2 balls and a strike. Sutton on the season, batting .256, 4 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Again, missing low and away. 3 balls and a strike. The wind and the pitch. And tails inside.
Now batting for the
Well,
Lions,
you
right
can
fielder,
see,
number 1, Grady
or see
Connor.
another one of those pitchers that clearly a very live arm, a lot of movement on his pitches, but also, as is sometimes the case, as the pitcher learns to craft, he's struggling a little bit with wildness. A couple of walks here in the first. Sandwiched around the home run from Johnson, and Garcia's got himself in a little bit of trouble. 2 down, a runner at first, and it'll bring up Connor. Grady Connor batting .308, 7 home runs, 23 runs batted in. So the danger doesn't exactly abate here. But you got another dangerous bat in Grady Connor. Garcia ready. Cut, but Connor in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. Connor to be followed by Ortiz, the designated hitter. Way high and outside. A ball and 2 strikes now on Connor. Upfield, shading Connor just slightly to pull. You get the sense as you look through the statistics and maybe through the first inning here that this is a bit of a hitter's park. Ball will carry some. We've already seen Johnson with a no-doubter to right, but most of the players here, as you look through some of the statistics on the season, quite a few players, more home runs than doubles. Bit of a telltale indicator maybe that if you get one out in the air, you can take it out of here. Two-two pitch. High and outside snap throw down and the runner back. So good job by Grady Connor. He was down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and now he's worked it back to a full count. And Garcia's just trying to get out of the first inning. But a lot of teams and a lot of pitchers have had that same sentiment playing Vanguard this season. Talked about the prolific offense, especially early in the game to grab the lead. There goes the runner, swung on and missed. Connor down on strikes. UAV out of the first, but not before. Vanguard strikes with a 2-run bomb. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. We're through 1. Vanguard 2, UAV 1 on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
We don't have the shot out there. Yeah. Hey. And we're back.
And ready for the top of the second inning, where Brock Bueno will lead things off against left-hander Justin Graves.
Second baseman number 2, Brock Bueno.
Apologies, everyone. We are having some technical difficulties with some of our camera angles.
But you got it back. Nice work, Michael. Off-speed pitch. In there for a strike. Count evened up. Help me out. I'm sorry, Michael, with the count. Ball and a strike, 2 ball.
1-1.
Thank you. That'll be something we'll have to get used to. Left-hander to left-hander, and Graves misses high, 2 balls and a strike. I can't just cheat and look at the scoreboard anymore, Michael. 2 balls and a strike, and believe me, I had to cheat many times. 3 balls and a strike. The count now on Bueno. Bueno saw regular action over the first 4 or 5 games. He's missed the last couple for UAB, but back in the lineup today. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Neil White has had to juggle the lineup a little bit more, certainly, than Coach Rob Pegg at Vanguard, who's been able to go pretty steady with his lineup. Payoff pitch, and it looks like he got a piece of Bueno. It's going to be ball 4 anyway. But Bueno awarded first on the hit by pitch, and that'll bring up Hunter Reed. So the leadoff man aboard again. UAV made that work for a run back in the top of the first. Look to do so again. And here is Reed. And I know we have a bit of a book on Hunter Reed as well, thanks to Matt Robinson, who covers this UAB team. Appreciate getting a little bit of insight from Matt before this one as well. 2 home runs, 5 runs batted, 353 average for Reed. But a very live bat. A lot of power. Not quite the same prolific numbers across the board on the power stats for UAV, but a lot of times that can be a function of the ballpark or conditions that you play in. So runner at first. And now after a brief meeting at the mound, Graves is ready. Diaz is back behind the plate, and we're ready to go. A wave and a miss. Off-speed pitch and a beauty. Quick look at that one again.
2-1.
2 balls and a strike. Another big cut and a miss. And the count even up 2-2 on Reed with Miranda waiting on deck. Brock Bueno held on by Johnson over at first. Graves ready. Kicks and delivers back to the off-speed pitch, and it's back to the screen as Reed manages to stay alive. And Graves continuing to work deliberately. Slow curve, and that one well outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's been changing speeds, going up and down here on Reed. Let's see if he goes back to the gas here on the payoff pitch. Bueno away from first. On the ground toward third, sliding stop by Aversa, but he can't come up with it cleanly. Meanwhile, Bueno digging hard. He's going to try for third, and they're going to get him. So Bueno tries to take the extra base, but Aversa corrals and looked like he got there in time. Well, now they're gonna conference up here because Bueno's still at first. Let's watch the replay, and the throw definitely beats him. And there's the tag.
I don't know why there's an argument.
And the call is initially that he's out. There you see the call. But Bueno never moves. And I don't know, could you tell at the end there, Michael, maybe, is it possible that Sutton lost the ball at the last minute there? It's the only thing maybe I could think of. He had it cleanly initially, and there's no question but that the throw beat him.
See if we can see that one more time here. We'll have.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to assume that we're talking second and third. Everybody's safe, nobody out, and see what the call is. Maybe this might be the rare single and an error. I want to see what the call is, Mike. Perhaps you can let me know on that. It's hard to tell there. See the slide, but I don't think there's any question but that he got him.
I'm not seeing
and
the
it
ball.
looks like Sutton still got the ball, so call this one a mystery, and maybe Mike, you can find out what the chatter is there after the inning and see what the call is. Meanwhile, the umpires are still conferenced up, so it's not settled just yet.
I mean, Stoy,
I should point out just in terms of
that looks like it beats him.
Mike.
I mean, if you're I'm looking at the replay monitor here, he clearly beats him with the tag, and I don't know why there's a conference.
Yeah.
That's a bad call. It's a great job by Aversa staying with the play. Wasn't able to handle it initially, but stays with it, gets it over third, and then just the victim of a bad call.
And it looked to me like the umpire initially made the call that Bueno was out at third, and it did not look to me, on the replay at least, as though he was overruled by another umpire. So I'm not sure where the call came from. It looked like he changed his call. Apologies for not having the name ready. Meanwhile, breaking pitch is in there for a strike to Miranda. Well, this will be interesting. Perhaps, Michael, as I say, between innings, might be able to find out a little bit more about what the actual call was, because I think you and I are both a little bit stumped as of right now. No balls and a strike to count.
0-2.
Foul back again quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. It's now Graves starting to pick up the pace. And also, don't know if they've made a call on that yet, if that goes down as a base hit and an error, or just a base hit, or just an error. But we'll see what the call is on that one as well. So no balls, 2 strikes on Miranda. Josh Miranda had a cut and fouled it back. Comes in batting .455. No home runs, 4 runs batted in. 5 for 11 on the young season. An interesting dynamic between these two teams. One of these teams has played a whopping 34 games. The other team has played 7. So quite the difference in amount of time on the diamond so far this season between those two teams. A shot on the right side and a base hit for Miranda. Connor up with it. He'll get it back in, but it's an RBI single for Josh Miranda. And UAV coming back quickly to tie this one at 2. Nice piece of hitting from Josh Miranda. And that'll bring up Jacob Ogle, batting .400 on the season. No home runs, 5 runs batted in. So Graves in all kinds of trouble. He's surrendered the lead as we're tied at 2. Still nobody out. Here at the top of the second, Ogle squares the bunt. Didn't get a piece. Count, no balls, and a strike. Well, you wonder what's going through the mind of young Justin Graves on the mound. It's certainly been a challenging inning. I think going back to the play with Reed at the plate, you got to feel like if you're Graves, like maybe you dodged a little bit of a bullet there. You're going to get rid of one of the runners on base. Maybe 1 down, maybe a runner at first. As the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. On Ogle instead, kind of a strange result to the play. It's 2 on, and then an RBI single, and the troubles continue. Game tied at 2. Graves got to find a way to reset himself. Tried the off-speed pitch and just missed the corner. Ball and 2 strikes. They're in at the corners even with 2 strikes on Ogle. So convinced are they, and yes, he squares the bunt again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, this is, I think, quite a compliment to Jacob Ogle, that with 2 strikes, Coach Neil White in his first season at the helm for UAV, still looking for Ogle potentially to lay one down, and Ogle's been a good hitter as well, 10 for 25 on the young season. He'll square again. Outside, and Graves.
It was 3-1.
Lost Ogle. 3-1. Thank you, Michael.
Sorry about that.
So Graves loses him, and it loads the bases. Still nobody out. And we'll go back to the top of the order. And Brian Gomez, who got things started with a base hit in the first. Reed at third, Miranda at second, Ogle at first. Still nobody out, and that is going to bring a mound visit. Give you a little more of a panoramic look at the ballpark. Coming to you from Costa Mesa. Oh, Mike, you can hear the wind out there.
Yep.
Windy and warm. Fair characterization of the weather today?
Windy, warm, Bob Seger. It's a good day.
Hey, if anybody could have written a song about windy, warm weather, that's Bob Seger. So Graves in a jam. And he will have to go back to work with the bases juiced and still nobody out. Infield creeps in a couple of steps. They're about halfway. Here's the first pitch to Gomez. Way outside, and a good job by Diaz to keep that one in front. That saved a run. A ball and no strikes on Gomez. A base hit his first time up. Came into action today batting .375. Had a good series against La Sierra, going 3 for 8. He went after the high fastball and came up empty. Ball and a strike on Gomez. UAV looking for the lead. We're tied at 2, just underway here. We're in the top of the second. Off speed, and Gomez had a big cut and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keola Valoria waiting on deck. You got Valoria and Perez and Enbody, the heart of the order, coming up. This becomes a key batter for Graves. Needs to get it out here at the very least. Chopped foul. So Graves ready. 1 and 2 on Gomez. High fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gomez making his first start since the 26th. Went in the last series against Hope International. That one well outside, and Diaz really getting a workout back there. But Graves coming off a very solid outing. 7 innings, and he allowed just 2 runs. Didn't get the decision against Hope International in Vanguard's last series. A solid outing nonetheless, but he's having his struggles so far. Payoff pitch to Gomez. Down he goes. Graves with the heater.
Joe, what was that at?
Huh?
What's the MPH on that?
83.
83 mile an hour fastball.
That's the first out. That is a big out, potentially, for Graves. Doesn't surrender a run, and now he'll work to Valoria. Talked about Valoria. A potent bat, 387 on the season coming in. Just had a 6-game hit streak snapped in their last game. A swing and a miss. This one gets away from Diaz, but everybody going to stay put. So no balls and a strike on Valoria. As I mentioned, hit safely in his first 6 games. Did finally have that streak snapped in the series against La Sierra this last week. And the count now, no balls and a strike on Valoria. A strikeout victim his first time up. The infield moves back, except for Johnson, who's about even with the bag at first. Looking to turn 2 on Valoria. Off speed outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Keola Valoria.
That's a good call there on the ball.
Valoria 4 for 13 in the La Sierra series. Here's the 1-1. Well inside, and Valoria can just get out of the way. 2 balls and a strike.
Roger Dorn would be at first base right now.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have wanted to be.
That's correct.
Yeah, Roger, his instinct was not to take one for the team. But when called on, he finally did do it. Give him credit. Boy, Graves doesn't get the call. That was just outside. Take a look at that one. And say, good job by Diaz to frame it up, but I think a pretty good call there. That one looked a little bit off the play.
Yeah,
So
nibbling.
3 balls and a strike on Valoria. Graves ready. Here's the pitch. Went to the slider and gets the inside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Valoria with good speed. It won't be easy to turn to. Let's see how Graves elects to work. Payoff pitch. High chopper back up the middle. Could be 2. Steps on the bag for 1. Over for the double play. Isaiah Lee. Well, good speed or not, you can't draw it up a whole lot better than this as Lee takes that one on a nice hop right next to the bag, delivers a strike to Johnson, and Graves does a masterful job of getting out of the inning. But UAV pushes 1 across. We're through 1.5. UAV and Vanguard tied at 2 on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
We'll take a look now at the controversial play earlier. Versa unable to get to the ball initially, but able to track it down, and then they called him safe here, Coach.
That's terrible.
So that led to the onslaught here, well, at least to a tie game, and we're knotted up at 2 apiece. Bottom of the second coming up here on SoCal College Sports. Omar Ortiz up to bat here for Vanguard.
It'll be Ortiz, Diaz, and Lee, the bottom of the order due up here in the bottom of the second for Vanguard. That went in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia ready. Here's the pitch. Good cut. Miss. A ball and 2 strikes now the count on Omar Ortiz. Ortiz, the designated hitter today. Another good cut, and that one fouled away by Ortiz. Comes in batting .361, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in for Ortiz. As you get a good look at Omar from the right side. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and it looks like Ortiz able to hold up. Count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield back a couple of steps for Ortiz, who's got tremendous power to all fields. 2-2 pitch. Down on strikes. Look like Garcia back to the fastball and just blows it by Ortiz for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Vanguard currently sitting atop the Golden State Athletic Conference. Just a game ahead of Hope International. They just finished the 4-game set. First pitch to Diaz just outside for a ball. And it's a tight race at the top. Ottawa in the picture as well, with a record of 6-2. So quite the difference in the amount of games played, but both teams winning at a .750 clip. Meanwhile, 2 balls and no strikes on Diaz. But it just continues from there in the Golden State Athletic Conference. As you talk about, Hope International at 15-7, but also Westmont at 13-7 as well, right in there just a game back. Tight Golden State Athletic Conference as that one is chopped foul. 2 balls and a strike now on Diaz. Diaz ready. And Garcia misses outside with a fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Now, it's been something of a rotation behind the plate with Luke Arias and Kevin Meiser sharing some time, and today it's Diaz who gets the call. It's a swing and a miss. Might have gotten a piece. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Diaz. One of the few positions for Coach Rob Pegg where there has been a few names in the mix. It's been a pretty solid day-to-day lineup here in 2021 for Vanguard for the most part. Here's the payoff pitch to Diaz. Way high for a ball. 3rd walk issued by Garcia in the early going. Puts Diaz aboard, and that'll bring up Isaiah Lee. We'll have a pinch runner at first for Diaz. And it looked to me like it was Elijah Weeks. I caught a quick glimpse there. So
I got number
Weeks
2
at
here,
first.
Stoy.
Yep, Elijah Weeks it is. So Weeks at first, pinch running for Diaz. First pitch swinging. And a slow roller up towards second. They won't get the runner at second, or did they? Yes. What a play by Tyler Van Marder. Let's take you to the break here with a look again as Van Marder just beats Weeks and a little leap and a strike to first. Well, I was about to make a point about the play made in the field by Isaiah Lee and how big that was, and his somewhat opposite number, Van Marder, with a similar kind of play. Comes up with that one cleanly. Difficult play, but gets the 6-3 double play to end the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head to the top of the third. UAV and Vanguard tied at 2. It's NAIA baseball here at SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Manny Perez up to bat to start the top of the third.
It'll be Perez, N-Body, and Van Marder in the top of the third. University of Antelope Valley and Vanguard University from Costa Mesa. Perez with an RBI single, his first time up. First pitch from Graves, well outside for a ball. There is a look at Manny Perez, first base today. Pitch in there for a strike, evening it up at a ball and a strike. Well, let's see how Graves responds here in the third. He has got to be feeling very good after the way he was able to get out of the jam last inning with a strikeout and a double play to keep it at a 2-2 game. See if maybe that gets him into a little bit of a groove here. 2 balls and a strike. Certainly that's the hope if you're Vanguard. Well, for UAV, a run in each of the first couple innings. They want to keep it going. Bouncing ball to third. Sutton, long throw in time.
Now batting for the Pioneers catcher number 10, Dominic Embody.
That'll bring up N-Body. The catcher today, he flied to right his first time up. Let's give you one more look at the strong peg from Sutton. First pitch from Graves. Just high for a ball. So a ball and no strikes on N-Body. Standing in from the left side against the left-hander Graves, and the fastball outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Van Marter feeding on deck. Graves ready, rocks and fires. Line to right. And that is actually taken by Joe Johnson at first, so N-Body hits it well. But how about the positioning of Johnson right on the line to retire N-Body, 2 down, bases empty.
2 gone.
First pitch to Van Marter, a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. Graves working quickly. Just missed with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, a little bit of irony here. When Graves was getting ahead of the hitters so well in the first couple innings, he was surrendering some runs here. He's fallen behind a couple of guys. And he's just an out away here from a 1-2-3 inning, which would be his first. 2 balls and a strike. Back to live action. Here's the pitch from Graves. Sky high. Left side, and it's Aversa. It will put it away to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. For UAV, we head to the bottom of the third. Tied at 2 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Travis Aversa
Andrew
up to
Garcia.
bat. Sorry,
Thank you, Michael. Top of the order, Aversa, Riker, Buxton against right-hander Andrew Garcia. Garcia making just his 3rd appearance of the season. This is his 2nd start. Back on the 12th against St. Catharines, he went 5 2/3 and got the win. First pitch in there for a strike. He did surrender 6 runs in that game, but the offense did the job. Since then, a relief appearance, or I should say a shorter appearance against Lathierre. He went 1 2/3. Don't have that in front of me if that was a start or out of the bullpen. Meanwhile, the pitch in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Quickly on Aversa. A base hit his first time up. Back to the fastball, ground ball. Inside a 3rd, this is going to be a base hit. Down into the corner. Aversa rounding 2nd. And they'll hold him up there with a leadoff double. So Aversa 2 for 2. And Vanguard looking for the lead with Riker coming to the plate. And you go back to the top of the inning and the ball hit hard by Enbody, but Johnson positioned well right on the line, able to bring it in. That was extra bases that was taken away. Meanwhile, Aversa goes the opposite way and manages to find just a little lane in between the line and Jacob Ogle at third. And that turns into extra bases for Vanguard, and there is Aversa at second. So that'll bring up Landon Riker, who flied to center his first time up. First pitch swinging and fouled away. Balls and a strike. Riker, a .345 hitter on the season. Riker, an excellent eye at the plate. 14 strikeouts on the season, but also 14 walks. So, patient hitter at the plate. Let's see if he can get Aversa over or all the way in. A ball and a strike. There's the right-handed hitting Landon Riker. 40 hits on the season now in 117 at-bats. Garcia ready. High chopper, and it's cut off by Ogle. The throw over in time to get Riker at first, but Aversa alertly able to take third on the play. Well, that's a good job by Aversa. Running the bases with a play in front of him, even though it's to the left side. So he gets himself to third with only one out, and now Aki Buxton will be the batter. And there is danger here for Garcia. They creep in at the corners, and the first pitch from Garcia, a fastball outside for a ball. Talked about Buxton and the gaudy numbers with 11 home runs on the season, an average of .362. He walked his first time up. Slow curve from Garcia. Haven't seen that pitch much. And he just misses low.
Oof.
One more look at that one. 2 balls and no strikes now on Buxton. Well, you're Garcia. You can work somewhat carefully here with first base open with a runner at third and 1 out. But waiting on deck is Joe Johnson, who's already gone deep today. Back to the slow curve, and that one in there for a strike. Well, I got to tell you, from the eyeball, those pitches have looked pretty good.
They looked almost.
Garcia.
They looked pretty identical.
Haven't seen a lot of that pitch, but gone to it a couple of times here against Buxton. Here's the 2-1. Gas upstairs and misses for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike on Buxton. Aversa at third with 1 down. We're in the bottom of the third. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed, and Buxton might have just gotten a piece. Well, either way, as it squirts away, Aversa not going anywhere. Hard to tell if he maybe got a little piece of that, but it doesn't matter as Aversa remains at third.
I think he whiffed on it.
That's a great location. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fooled Buxton with the breaking ball. Let's see if he goes back to it here on a full count. Back to live. 3-2 pitch. Got him. A great shot by Garcia. But I got to tell you, Michael, that might have been Garcia's best batter of the game.
Well, but look on it.
That was some pretty
2 angles here.
Go ahead, Mike. That was some pretty nasty stuff to a very dangerous hitter and Aki Buxton. So now Garcia in position to maybe wriggle out of his own jam here, much as Graves did in the second. Get away unscathed. But he'll have to work to Joe Johnson, who already took him downtown And his first time up, 5th home run of the season, a 2-run shot. No balls and a strike. Let's see if Garcia can make the adjustment. 0-1 pitch. Fastball and a wave and a miss. And Johnson looked like it's pretty well fooled by that pitch. He was not ready for the fastball. And he's in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. And meanwhile, you can almost read the body language of Garcia, who's quickly back up on the bump. He's ready to go. Starting to feel it a little bit out there. Here's the 0-2. Gets piece. Left side. But playable for Gomez, who's there. So Garcia, just a little fist pump as he heads off the mound. Feeling good. Leadoff double goes nowhere. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're heading to the 4th. Vanguard and UAV tied at 2. NAIA baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
34, Anthony Castillo.
Leadoff double for Aversa. And we'll see Garcia working out of a jam. Huge strikeout. Eventually getting Johnson, who had homered previously, to fly out. Top of the 4th coming up here on SoCal College Sports.
Brock Bueno.
So Brock Bueno will lead things off here in the top of the 4th. Hit by a pitch, his first time up. Eventually came around to score on the base hit by Miranda.
I believe it's a new pitcher.
Indeed, it's a right-hander, so we'll get you the word on the new pitcher as well. A wave and a miss from Bueno, no balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if I can find that for you, Michael. It's Anthony Castillo, who takes over after Graves goes 3 innings, surrendering 2 runs, and he bounces that one in, and it does get a piece of Bueno. I'll tell you, Bueno going from the old school Don Baylor school, 2 times at plate, 2 times hit by pitch. And that's a good job taking one for the team right there from Bueno, who leans into that one just a little bit and gets himself to first. And that'll bring up Hunter Reed. Reed reached on probably the play of the game so far, maybe with Johnson's home run, of course, but the odd play, the ball off of Aversa, looked like everybody was going to be safe. Then it looked like they were going to get Bueno trying to make it to third on the play. And on what I think can charitably be referred to as a close call at third, it goes the way of UAV. Everybody's safe. And it ultimately leads to the tying run that came back in the 2nd inning. Pitch misses high, a ball and a strike on Reed with Bueno at first. Hope you are enjoying NAIA baseball. Good non-conference matchup here between UAV and Vanguard on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Here's the 1-1. High fastball from Castillo. 2 balls and a strike on Reed. Reed came in batting .353, coming off a huge series against La Sierra. He went 6 for 11 in the 3-game series, in which UAV took 2 out of 3 from La Sierra. And he had 2 home runs on doubleheader Sunday, less than a week ago. So he comes in swinging a hot bat. Castillo misses upstairs, 3 balls and a strike, with Bueno still at first, held on by Joe Johnson. Top of the 4th inning. Trying to find you on the screen there, Mike. I think I see all the monitors. I can always tell where you are. Just look for about 8 monitors. Meanwhile, breaking ball misses upstairs, and Reed works the walk, so much as was the case. Going back to the 2nd inning, Bueno and Reed get things going. They set the table. 2 on, still nobody out, and that'll bring up Josh Miranda, who had an RBI single his first time up. So trouble brewing for the Lions here in the top of the 4th. And a rude greeting for Anthony Castillo, who's allowed the first 2 to reach. Castillo with a look back at Bueno. Miranda squaring to bunt, but takes that one for a ball. Well, the book was that UAV would look to be aggressive on the base pass, and they have been. And that they would handle the bat well. Try to scratch across runs as they could any which way, and we've seen a lot of that. So kudos to Matt Robinson on the scouting report. Dead on so far.
Also said he wouldn't be surprised if there was a 10 spot up there for Vanguard.
Well, there have been some struggles on the mound for UAV this season, but as we pointed out, such a stark difference in the amount of games played. You're talking about 7 games played for UAV, 34 games played for Vanguard. So it's a smaller sample size here for UAV, but it has been something of a struggle on the mound in the early going. We're tied at 2 here in the top of the 4th. Breaking ball misses outside. That one trickles away from Diaz, but everyone's going to hold. 2 balls, no strikes on Miranda. That's a good job by Diaz. Kept that ball in his sight. No chance there for Bueno or Reed to think about another base. Castillo ready, kicks and delivers. At the knees for strike 1. I'll give you a quick look at that one again, and that is about as well placed as you can do it. Miranda, no choice. To leave the bat on the shoulder. 2 balls and a strike. Driven to center, but right there to take it on 1 bounce is Riker in center. Couldn't come in to get that one on the play. Everyone going to be safe, but only advance 1 base. This one hit right on the screws. We'll give you one more look at this one. Gets down in a hurry, and Riker does a good job just to get that one back in and hold everybody to 1 base. So, first 3 have reached. And UAV looking to take command here in the top of the 4th. First pitch swinging, that's going to be another base hit. Meanwhile, a little trouble out in right field for Connor. And that's going to allow 2 runs to score. It's a 2-run single off the bat of Jacob Ogle. So UAV indeed grabbing a 4-2 lead in the top of the 4th.
Pioneers, let's go to number 14, Brian Gomez.
So Ogle went up looking to be aggressive. And they're giving Castillo all kinds of trouble here in the top of the 4th. 4 straight now have reached. That's for Ogle. With the 2-run single, he now has 7 runs batted in on the season. That'll bring up the top of the order. And Brian Gomez, 1 for 2 in the game. Singled and struck out. He goes up there hacking as well. It's a little bit of a surprise to me, though you can hardly argue with success, as Ogle had the base hit and Gomez had a good cut, but Castillo still seems to be struggling pretty mightily with control. early in this one as he works in his first inning. But somewhat conversely than you might think, it's UAV looking to be very aggressive in the plate. Off speed, in there for a strike, and now Gomez in a big hole, no balls and 2 strikes. And if you're Vanguard, you know you've got a pretty potent offense, but right now the way UAV is putting hits together, if you're Castillo, you need to get a couple outs here and get out of this inning. Back to off speed as well, lifted to left center. Buxton moving over, but it's Riker who will take it, but that is going to be plenty deep enough to bring home another run as Miranda comes home with the 3rd run of the inning on the sacrifice fly
Now batting for the
by
Pioneers,
Gomez.
center field number 9, Keoli Villoria.
So for Castillo, the good news is he gets his first out of the inning. But it's allowed 3 runs, and UAV has grabbed a 5-2 lead here in the top of the 4th. As Villoria will come to the plate, and he's had a quiet day so far, struck out and grounded into a double play. Reaches out and bounces this one over to short. They'll go to first to get Villoria. Ogle was moving on the pitch, and that kept UAV out of a double play. So there's the hit and run
Now batting for the
that we
Pioneers,
might have
base
expected.
number 36, Manny Perez.
And it gives UAV perhaps another chance here. Now with 2 outs, they have a runner in scoring position. 2 down, and Manny Perez coming to the plate. And yet another pitch where the batter went up there hacking right away as Villoria went up there, went after the first pitch. Slow curve in there for a strike to Perez. But 3 runs on a couple of hits, a walk, a hit batsman, a sacrifice fly, and UAV with the 5-2 lead in Costa Mesa. Good fastball in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes on Manny Perez. Lifted towards center, but playable for Riker, who's got it to retire the side, but not before UAV puts a 3 spot on the board. 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Through 3.5. University of Antelope Valley with the 5-2 lead over Vanguard. NAIA Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Chad Sutton up to bat.
It'll be Sutton, Connor, and Ortiz in the bottom of the 4th. And for one of the rare times in the season, it's the Lions looking up at the scoreboard. And UAV has come in here and grabbed a 5-2 lead. As Vanguard comes to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. Starting with Sutton, who walked back in the 1st. First time up. Garcia Starts him off with a fastball inside for a ball. Chad Sutton swinging a hot bat of late, 4 for 11 over the last 5 games. The fastball again tails inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Garcia ready. The delivery. Big swing and a foul ball out of play off the bat of Sutton. Garcia has the one he likes. Fastball hit on the ground towards short. Van Marter up with it and across to retire Sutton.
Now batting
We're out number 1.
Number 1, Grady Connor.
That'll bring up Grady Connor. Connor struck out to end the first, his first time up. Grady batting .308 coming in, but it's been a bit of a struggle of late. Over the last 5 games, he's just won for his last 14, but we already saw Johnson, who had been struggling a little bit, at least on paper, in the last few games, come up for his first at bat and promptly deposit one over the right field wall. So you know it's only a matter of time with a good bat in the lineup. Meanwhile, that one misses low, 2 balls and no strikes.
I think call it a strike.
On Connor. Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes. 1-1.
Might have started to offer it that one. I didn't quite catch it. Either way, count evened up, a ball and a strike on Grady Connor. The ground, or I should say lifted into left field and moving back and making the stab is Brian Gomez in left field. And Mike, you're at the ballpark. You might have a better way of telling, but it looked to me like Gomez might have been fighting a little bit of sun.
Fighting sun,
where the position.
I think the ball just got on him really quick, and he made a great adjustment to get the out. 2 out, 2 gone here.
So Connor hits it on the screws, but little to show for it as Gomez is able to make the catch on the run out in left field. You want a wave and a miss from Omar Ortiz for strike 1. Meanwhile, Andrew Garcia continues to settle down, now getting some good defense behind him as well. Fastball lifted on the right side, down the line. Long run, Miranda giving chase, and can't catch up to that one. So no balls and 2 strikes quickly on Ortiz. He's going to make the long walk back. Started to say Ortiz struck out his first time up. 2 down, bases empty. Meanwhile, after the leadoff double last inning by Aversa, it's Garcia who's set down 5 in a row, and he gets Ortiz with the hook to close out the bottom of the 4th. 3 up, 3 down. We're headed to the 5th. UAV on a roll. They lead Vanguard 5-2 on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
After the 4th inning, the Pioneers lead 5-2. batting for
New
the
pitcher.
Pioneers, catcher number 10, Dominic Embody.
Brian Park, the right-hander, becomes the third pitcher of the game for Vanguard. After the one inning from Castillo, he'll work to Dominic Embody, and then Van Marder and Bueno for UAV in the top of the fifth as they'll look to extend on a 3-run lead. First pitch from Park in there for a strike, and Park, part of the 4-pitcher rotation for the most part for Vanguard this season. Just outside for a ball. Almenta, Cashow as well, and Graves, who we saw earlier. A ball and a strike. The count on Embody. So that is typically the case here. This a one-off in the schedule, non-conference, before both teams will return to conference play with the series this upcoming week. But an opportunity here outside the conference and get a look at a different opponent. 2 balls and a strike. I can't say that Vanguard is loving it so far. Lined into left center field. This is going to be extra bases. All the way to the wall. Embody going to cruise into second with a leadoff double. Leadoff man aboard
For the Pioneers, shortstop number 4, Tyler
for the
Van
4th
Marder.
time in 5 innings for UAV. As Embody ropes this one to left center. This is a no doubt. So, Michael, the Pioneer bats, they made the trip from Lancaster.
And that was a scouting report. They can put up some runs. Let's see if the pitching can hold.
Indeed, they have. And Van Marder, who's 0 for 2, grounded out and popped up with an opportunity here. And let's see if Van Marder is going to put one down or at least try to get one to the right side. Park ready. Here's the pitch, and the breaking ball misses outside. A ball and a strike. It's Brian Park. Much the same as Castillo an inning ago. Comes in and is promptly greeted with some trouble. So Diaz out. Discussion's over. Park ready to go.
Well, it's the
One ball,
game.
no strikes.
It's the game within the game here, Jeff, and I think that an adjustment needs to be made by these Vanguard pitchers because UAV going up there and hacking early.
Indeed. Good lead at second for Enfield, and the ball misses low again. And Park struggling early, 2 balls and no strikes. As he works to Tyler Van Marden. Two-0 pitch from Park. Popped up again, left side and playable. Sutton under it and has it.
Now batting for the Pioneers.
Well, that one was up in the zone, and
Bueno.
Van Marder just couldn't lay off. But I think if you're Brian Park, you love him to go after that pitch. And indeed, skies it on the infield. Pop out for the first down. And that'll bring up Rock Bueno back in the lineup today. Been missing a couple of games. First pitch on the outside corner for strike 1.
Generous.
Little tailing action, but just caught the black. Bueno's had an interesting day at the plate. Been hit by a pitch on both trips. He's taking a beating up there, Mike, but he's getting on base for him. A ball and a strike.
Yes, he is. Get that man an ice bath at the end of the game.
I think if you ask Brock, he'll say, I'll take first base any way I can get it. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball of beauty in there for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes on Brock Bueno, the second baseman. Hunter Reed waiting on deck. We bring you back to live action. And Body at second after the leadoff double. 1-2 pitch to Bueno, able to fight it off. Bueno, on each of his previous trips, led off an inning by being hit by a pitch, and on both occasions, eventually did come around to score. A couple of runs scored on the day. Right-hander Park is ready. From the belt, here's the 1-2. Back to the fastball. Ground ball right side. Up with it is Lee. He'll go the short way and retire Bueno, but on the play, Body will take third, 2 down.
Number 24, Hunter Reed.
And a runner at third for Vanguard. That will bring up Hunter Reed. Perfect on the day so far, a base hit and a walk. Park ready. Here's the pitch. Off speed, a little low for a ball. Reed, the designated hitter today. As UAV, we talked about, has moved around a little bit. Some different guys in the lineup. Dawson Baker seeing a lot of time out in the outfield as well, a little bit earlier in the season. So that has led to some players being moved around. Reed's played a lot in left field today. He's the designated hitter. Already talked about Bueno being in and out of the lineup. More changes here and there. Ground ball to short, scooped up by Aversa. In time to retire the side. UAV threatens but comes up empty. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base. Halfway through this one. And it's UAV with the 5-2 lead over Vanguard. You're watching NAIA Baseball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Now batting for the Lions, catcher number 32, Oscar Diaz.
It'll be Diaz, followed by Lee, and at the top of the order of Versa. As Andrew Garcia will continue into the 5th inning, and why not? He's set down 6 in a row over the last couple of innings, as the Pioneers have taken control, leading this one 5-2. Just outside on the first pitch to Diaz. Diaz walked his first time up. Garcia ready. Good fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oscar Diaz. Low with the fastball, 2 balls and a strike. He has 6 for 16 on the season. 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Coming into action in this one. 2-1 pitch from Garcia. Swing, miss. Look at that one. And there, see that consistent tailing action as that ball moves away from the left-hander. Good cutting action from Garcia on that fastball in particular. Tries the curve here and misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there's a quick look at the replay from behind home plate. And back to live action with a full count on the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th, Oscar Diaz. Garcia ready. Fastball. Bouncer to short, big hop for Van Marder. Throw was a little wide, but they got the tag down to get Diaz for out number 1 here in the 5th.
Second baseman number 25, Isaiah Lee.
Well, Perez picks up Van Marder a bit, and it's 1 down. And Isaiah Lee coming to the plate, grounded into a 6-3 double play. Back in the 2nd. First pitch, a little bit high from Garcia. That's become so critical. A guy like Lee at the bottom of the order when you have so much danger with Aversa and Riker. Buxton at the top of the order. If you're Garcia, you'd love to go about meeting those hitters with 2 outs and the bases empty. Meanwhile, if you're Lee, maybe set the table a bit, get somebody on for your big bats in the lineup. So a key batter for Garcia, and he's fallen way behind 3 balls and no strikes. Exactly what you don't want to do. If you're Garcia, he'll take a little lap and get himself together. Let's see if Lee is taking all the way here on a 3-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 3-1 on Lee. Team into action today, batting .356. A home run and 5 runs batted in. 3-1 pitch. He had a cut. Looked like he fouled it off that left instep. Yeah, hobble out of there. Come back with a full count. Talked about the 2 outings for Garcia this season. He's gone 5 2/3 and 1 2/3 in 2 outings. So working into the 5th here, it'll be interesting to see, even though he is on a roll, how long they go with Garcia today. As Lee took a hack at what looked like ball 4. Love to have that one back. Count remains full. So tough to lay off the high fastball, especially with 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. And Lee takes it for ball 4.
Now batting for the line, shortstop number 33, Travis Aversa.
So Aversa will come to the plate. 1 down and a runner at first. So there's a much different situation now for Vanguard with the runner at first. And the dangerous Aversa at the plate. They creep in at the corners as the fastball from Garcia is high and away for ball 1. They'll play back up the middle. The outfield plays Aversa straight away, and they're back a step or 2. Big cut and a miss and a snap throw down. Boy, it looked like they had Lee leaning just a little bit the wrong way. But Perez couldn't quite find Lee and get that tag back there fast enough. As Lee was able to just scamper back. A ball and a strike now on Aversa, with 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Lee out to a good lead at first. Fastball in there for a strike. A ball and 2 strikes now on Aversa. Aversa came into action today on a 7-game hit streak, so make it 8, as he's 2 for 2. He's now 9 for 20 over his last 5+ games. So the Lions have the right bat at the plate right now. Breaking ball high and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Garcia continues to flash that pitch only periodically. But he seems to have been effective with the curveball when he does go to it. 2-2 on a versa. Fastball tailing away for ball 3. Landon Riker waits on deck. Isaiah Lee away from first. And that'll draw a throw from Garcia. Well, with the walk to Lee, that was the first batter to reach after 7 in a row had been retired. In fact, since the Johnson homer way back in the first, only 1 hit allowed from Garcia. There's a versa, a swing and a miss, and he is down on strikes. So Garcia comes up, big strikeout, 2 down. Lee still at first. Riker will be the batter. He's 0 for 2. Well, you almost wouldn't have really noticed it, the way that Garcia has, not just in this most recent stretch where he's set down a few batters in a row, but really since that home run by Johnson. Andrew Garcia has been terrific. Just the 1 hit from a versa and a couple of walks. 1 erased by a double play. So he's been dominant. Fastball and another snap throw down as Lee continues to stray away from first, but he's back. 2 balls and no strikes. Three walks and 4 Ks since the home run to Johnson, just 1 hit allowed, and of course no runs by Garcia. Here's the 2-0. Fastball way high again. 3 balls, no strikes now on Riker. And there's constant danger pitching to this Vanguard lineup because it's 3-0 to Riker. A walk here puts 2 on for Buxton, who just has 11 home runs on the season.
How bad is that name?
So
Want to
very
make
quickly,
you spat out an airplane reference?
What was that, Mike?
How bad is that? Does the Riker name make you want to shout out an airplane reference?
Yeah, don't even get me started. I could go for a while, you know that. 3-1 on Riker. Foul back and out of play. So from 3-0 back to 3-2 on Riker. Those look like pretty good pitches to swing at, but I'm a little surprised. You're down 3 runs. I think if you're Riker, you'd love to get on base any way you can and take your chances with Aki Buxton coming to the plate with a couple on. Payoff pitch. And he went fishing and he just got a piece. That's a good piece of hitting from Riker. Went down there after that ball and managed just to get himself another pitch. Garcia from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 4. Couple of walks in the inning. And here is Aki Buxton. "11 home runs coming in, and 1 swing of the bat here can produce a brand new ball game." Buxton's 0 for 1. He's walked and struck out. Last time up. Quite a battle between these two. And Garcia won it, getting the punch out on a beautiful breaking ball. N-Body is going to come out and get on the same page with Garcia as they get ready to work to Aki Buxton. Joe Johnson would be next if Buxton can keep it alive. Garcia ready. First pitch. In there for a strike. I think you look at Garcia, there has been, if anything, today that might be less than stellar. It's a little bit of trouble locating the fastball, but that was a good one. Pumped in there for a strike. No balls and a strike to Buxton. Back to the fastball and misses the outside corner.
So I think this game really changed for Garcia when he was able to start locating that curveball, and it really threw these hitters off for a loop. And now they're not attacking as much early in the at-bat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when he has changed speeds, you have seen the Vanguard hitters noticeably off balance. Here's the 1-1. Back to the fastball, lifted into right field, and taking it on the hop is Miranda. It's a 2-out base hit for Buxton. And the RBI single makes it a 5-3 game.
The line's first baseman number 7, Joe Johnson.
And that'll bring up Johnson of the 2-run home run earlier in the game. So it doesn't get a whole lot easier.
Oh, 5-3 now.
If you're Andrew Garcia.
First and third.
First and third. And the danger continues. And they conference up. Now it's a full conference. Before they work to Johnson, who has homered and flied to left in 2 trips. Joe Johnson, the first baseman, will dig in. Garcia going to remain in the game. Vanguard cuts it to 2. And they're looking to do more damage here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 down. Runners at the corners. First pitch lined hard to center field. It's a long run for Valoria. And he won't get there. This one's all the way to the wall. We've got a tie ball game.
Now batting for the Lions, start baseman number 22, Chad Sutton.
It's a great piece of hitting.
I'll tell you, Johnson continues to do damage. 4 runs batted in the game. And we're all tied at 5. Meanwhile, with Sutton coming to the plate, now a base hit to the outfield with 2 down, and you could be talking about Vanguard taking the lead. It's going to be a slow hook for Garcia. They're going to let him continue to work here, see if he can get himself out of the inning. A swing and a miss. And as Garcia goes back to the off-speed pitch to start out Sutton. Tried the outside corner and missed, and it has not been a generous outside corner. I think it's been a pretty good strike zone today. I haven't seen a lot that I thought was really questionable, but a lot of pitches for all the pitchers today just off the plate, and they are not getting the benefit of the doubt. That was pretty good location, but off the plate. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, and Sutton's able to lay off. 2 balls and a strike. Vanguard looking for the lead. They've come all the way back. Trailed this one 5-2. But the RBI single from Buxton, the 2-run double from Johnson. We're knotted again at 5. High fastball, 3 balls and a strike. Too good at bat for Sutton, who's 0 for 1, grounded out and walked. Sutton on the season, 23 runs batted in. He's been a good run producer in the middle of this lineup. Got an opportunity here with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball, Sutton trying to hold up, and he went around. Three balls, 2 strikes on Sutton. Andrew Garcia, who was just an out away from getting out of the jam unscathed. But this potent middle of the lineup has jumped up and bitten him here. A wave and a miss at the breaking ball. Garcia out of the inning, but not before Vanguard brings home 3 on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We're through 5. We're tied at 5. It's NAIA baseball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It'll be Josh Miranda, Jacob Ogle, and then the top of the order, Brian Gomez. Here in the top of the 6th, that's Brian Park back on the bump for his 2nd inning. For Vanguard, the game is now tied at 5 after the 3-run bottom of the 5th. No balls and a strike on Miranda. 2 for 2 on the day. Off-speed pitch misses for a ball. Park into the wind, back to the curveball on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Miranda. The bottom of the order, Miranda 2 for 2, Ogle 1 for 1 with a walk. Factor Bueno and Reed in there, and it's really this bottom half of the order that's done the damage for UAV. Swing and a miss.
Now batting for the Pioneers, third baseman.
Well, I should say 1 ball and 2 strikes. No, that is 1 ball.
That's okay.
Indeed, Miranda down on strikes. Sorry, I got just a touch confused there when we went back to the replay.
Sorry about that. There's
No
the
worries.
breaking ball, put it at 1-2, and then the punch out. See ya.
Yeah, back to the fastball and Miranda down on strikes. And that'll bring up Ogle, the first pitch in there for a strike.
Right now, Park dealing.
Indeed, started off with the leadoff double by Enbody last inning, but he was able to get out of that inning without surrendering any runs. And it's 4 in a row retired and an 0-1 pitch to Ogle just outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ogle struck a big blow back in the 4th. His last time up with a 2-run single. That at the time pushed the lead to 5-2.
2-1.
2 balls and a strike. They'll shade Ogle just slightly the opposite way. Park ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. gets the called strike. 2-2 on Ogle. Mentioned that Park, one of a quartet of regular starters for Vanguard in most of their series, which are set to be 4-game series in conference play. Called strike 3. And Ogle down on strikes. And yeah, Mike, I'd say dealing is a pretty good description.
Look at that.
As Park has set down 5 in a row. And again, he goes to the breaking ball and is not afraid to work that pitch on the inside corner. Saw that called for a strike against Miranda in the previous at bat, and there to get the punch out on Ogle. And that'll bring up Gomez, first pitch swinging, and he fouls it away. Gomez at the top of the lineup, 1 for 2. A single, he struck out, and he had a sacrifice fly his last time up. 2 down, bases empty, and it's been a game of momentum for a period of time. It looked like UAV really had the momentum. Had Garcia on the mound, really dictating to the Vanguard lineup, and then Vanguard turned it around and tied it up at 5, and now it's Park who's out there and seems to be in complete command. 2 balls and a strike. So, hey, for a foray into NAIA baseball, not a bad game, Michael.
No.
2-1 on Gomez. The hook, a beauty. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And back to live action. Gas, and he got him. 3 up, 3 down, all of them on strikeouts. Brian Park, that's one for the time capsule. We head to the bottom of the 6th. UAV and Vanguard tied at 5. You're on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
NAIA Baseball live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can go to our website, SoCalCollegeSports.com, or on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. 5-5, bottom of the 6th coming up here. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff with you on the call here from Costa Mesa on the campus of Vanguard University.
Now batting for the Lions, right to the number 1, Grady Connor.
Grady Connor will lead things off. That's the new pitcher for the University of Antelope Valley. I'll get you some details on that, but it's Eric Demchuk who will take over on the mound after Andrew Garcia goes 5 complete and leaves with the game tied at 5. Connor will lead things off, first pitch swinging. And it is lined into right field, a base hit. And just for a moment, Connor thought about second, but no chance. So a leadoff single for the Lions, who appear to be getting it dialed in at the plate. After a 3-run 5th, Connor starts things off with a rope to right. And that'll bring up Ortiz, who's probably pretty happy to see Garcia finish his day. He was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And he'll get a look down with Demchuk. Demchuk ready, first pitch swinging on the ground to short. Over to second, but the throw is wide. Everybody's safe. Runners going to advance. As that one heads into right field, the throw will come in, and that is going to go down as a two-base error, no question. Initially, it was a tough play for Tyler Van Marter as he moved to his right. But he came up with it cleanly and then just threw the ball wide to Bueno covering. It's out into right field, and by the time Miranda can get it back in, the runners are at second and third. So if you take away the odd play back in the second inning off of Aversa, really the first fielding miscue that we've seen of any kind in this one here today. Has been a very clean game, but that one could be costly as it puts runners at second and third, nobody out. You're in the bottom of the sixth, and now the Lions with a golden opportunity to grab the lead with Diaz coming to the plate. First pitch from Demchuk is inside for a ball. Well, that's tough. That's to say, Van Marter had to move and able to pick that one cleanly on the backhand side. But not able to find Bueno to get the force and maybe more. And instead, 2 balls and no strikes. Demchuk in all kinds of trouble here in his first inning. With the runners at second and third, nobody out. Diaz grounded to short and walked in 2 trips, and UAV sensing the moment. Going to bring the infield in at all 4 positions. Popped up, left side, now to play. Now, clearly here, the feeling for the Pioneers that they cannot afford to give away any runs. They're going to make the stand here. Try to keep it at 5, at least with Diaz at the plate. We'll see how they elect to work after this batter. 2 balls and a strike to count. Curveball just outside. 3 balls and a strike.
It's a good call.
Quick look at that one, and that is the story of the day. You see that one there, a pretty good call. That's a little bit off the plate, but the pitchers are not getting the benefit of those couple of inches maybe off the outside part of the play. So pretty consistent strike zone to my eye as I've watched. Here it is, 3-1 now on Diaz. The pitch. Diaz a little late. On that one and not happy with himself, and he'll step out and regroup. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, don't have much of a book on Demchuk. We've only seen him pitch to a couple of batters, but pretty good live fastball. And Diaz definitely late on it right now. And if I'm Demchuk, if I'm in that UAV dugout, I'd like to see Demchuk go up high with another fastball. Nope, goes to the curve. And able to foul it away is Diaz, so he stays alive.
Jeff, indeed, pretty live arm, 88 to 90 miles an hour on the fastball.
3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air to left. This should be deep enough. Gomez has it. The runners will tag. I should say the runner at third will tag and score without a play. So the sacrifice fly from Diaz brings Connor home and gives Vanguard their first lead since it was 2-1. So a good piece of hitting from Diaz. Able to get the job done and get the run home. Ortiz remains at second with 1 down, and that'll bring up Isaiah Lee. Lee got the rally started in the last inning with a 1-out walk. Eventually came around to score. 3-run 5th. So he'll go to work here, looking to potentially extend on what is now a 1-run lead. Eric Demchuk, senior right-hander for UAV. High fastball, and again fouled away, and now it's leaves a little bit late. So far through this lineup, haven't seen anybody turn around that Demchuk fastball yet. No balls and a strike. Nonetheless, the single from Connor eventually comes around to score, and Vanguard has the lead. Balls and a strike. High and inside, and that looks like it got a piece of Lee. And I don't think there's any question about it. Either that or Isaiah Lee is the best actor I've ever seen. That is no question right there. As you see the replay, that's a great shot. Good job, Michael. And looks like, yeah, that is a tough spot there, right. Got a couple on. As he'll get his first look at Eric Demchuk. First pitch, he had a cut.
Yeah.
Got his money's worth.
Can't talk.
You see there, Travis trying to get all that one. 0-1.
That was one right in his zone. He'd love to have that one back, Michael. I don't think there's any question about that. Breaking ball outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Demchuk working from the stretch. A look back at the runner now comes home. And again, just off that outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Landon Riker waits on deck. 6-5 in favor of Vanguard in the bottom of the 6th. Demchuk ready. Missing well high. And now it's 3 balls and a strike. And with runners at first and second, this is a tough spot for Eric Demchuk. You definitely don't want to walk a Versa. Move a couple of runners into scoring position. Three-one pitch. Fouled away. Busy first inning here for Demchuk on the mound. Started with a base hit by Connor, and the 2-base error, followed by a sacrifice fly and a hit by pitch. And the count now full. And that one misses well upstairs, and Aversa has the walk. And Vanguard continues the pressure. They now have him loaded. Still only one out. And Landon Riker, who's had a fairly quiet day at the plate so far, 0 for 2 with a walk. But an opportunity here to put a stranglehold on this one. First pitch, fouled away. No balls and a strike. Curveball swung on, lifted to deep left. Gomez giving chase in foul territory, and he tracks it down. But on the play, Ortiz alertly able to tag and score, so it goes down as a long sacrifice fly. We'll take a look at the replay as Vanguard pushes the lead to 7-5. This is a great job by Gomez as well, Michael.
Indeed.
Running this one down. Long way to go, but that is great alert base running. As Riker will get credit for the sacrifice fly. And the score now 7-5, and Aki Buxton will be the batter. Demchuk ready. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs for a ball. Three in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. For Vanguard to erase the 5-2 deficit. They now lead at 7-5. Pitch to Buxton. He had a big cut. Fouled that one straight back. What's the vernacular of Hawk Harrelson that I love so much, Michael? Oh, Aki just missed it. One ball and 1 strike.
Apparently we just missed it.
Did we? I think you had it. Oh, yeah. Well, it's heading back your direction.
No, one of the cameras cut out.
Oh, did it? Okay. Swung on, lifted to left. Gomez circling to his right, and he's got it. To retire the side, but the Lions do some damage.
After 6
2 runs on a hit,
7-5.
1 error. Couple left on base. We're heading to the 7th inning, and Vanguard has the 7-5 lead. You're watching NAIA baseball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Now batting for the Pioneers, center fielder number 9, Keoli Viloria.
It'll be Valoria, followed by Perez and Enbody here in the 7th, and Vanguard now looking up at a 7-5 deficit as Valoria, who's 0 for 3, comes to the plate, grounded out twice, and struck out. Park has been dominating since coming on. 2 innings worked, allowed just 1 hit, no runs. Starts Valoria off with a fastball. Fouled off for strike 1. We talked about Park of late and being part of that 4-man pitching staff, and it's been a bit of a struggle in the last couple of outings, just 7 innings. And he's allowed 8 runs in that period, but he's come out sharp today as he misses just inside the fastball, a ball and a strike. Did have a strong outing against San Diego Christian, getting the win, going 4 innings. In fact, he had wins in 4 straight appearances between February 20th and March 13th. 2 balls and a strike now on Valoria. So it's been a solid season for Park overall, with a record of 5-0. Fastball, and again, just off the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike. Well, they continue to nibble, Michael, but these hurlers are not getting much for it. You can try that outside corner. Here's 3-1 pitch. That time, Park got the outside corner. Keep a quick look at the replay. As the count goes full on Viola Valoria. Park rocks and fires and misses. The leadoff walk.
Now riding for the Pioneers.
Here in the top of the 7th,
Manny Perez.
as Valoria is aboard. And that'll bring up Manny Perez, 1 for 3. A single back in the first inning. Bluff towards second by Valoria, and he's not going anywhere. The fastball is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Perez in the lineup primarily as a designated hitter, also does some pitching for this Pioneer squad. Just 1 home run on the season, but just 11 at-bats coming into action today. Again, with a record of just 5-2 for Antelope Valley versus 27-7. Excuse me, I believe it's 6-2. No, it is 5-2. Thank you. All right, 5-2 for Antelope Valley on the season. So big difference in amount of games played here. Park ready. And 1 cued foul. Mike, I've got the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yes, sir.
Perez digging in. That's a little shimmy from Major League 2, Mike. How about that reference?
What was it? I have to hear it
Ball
again.
in the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. I'm sorry to make a reference to the bad one of those 2 movies. How many did there end up being?
Probably 4. There was
I remember 3, and then I think there might have been a straight to video 4, as it were. Breaking ball outside, and a nice job by Diaz to keep that one in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
1 was a classic. 2 through 4 were dumpster fires for sure.
I am going to give the same review. Not going to argue with you on that one. Two and 2 on Perez. Here's the pitch from Park. Little out in front. Perez hooks that one foul. Outfield. Back a couple of steps for Perez, and they'll shade him just a little bit to pull. Big hole on the right side of that infield for Perez. A big lead for Valoria at first base. And that'll bring the throw. If I was actually there, I'd think there was a small chance they could hear me, but They're not hearing me from about 5 or 6 miles away.
Probably not.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Perez. Swung on and driven deep to left, but playable in front of the track for Buxton.
Now batting for the Pioneers, catcher
Valoria will
number 10,
retreat to
Dominic
first. Perez gives it a ride. But just in front of the track, Buxton's got it for out number 1. That'll bring up Dominic Enbody. He's 1 for 3 today. He's hit the ball hard, though. On every trip, flied to right, lined hard to first, and then a double his last time up. So Dominic's dialed in. Takes the first pitch high and away for a ball. Vanguard University under 9th-year head coach Rob Pegg, trying to move it 21 games over 500. Count now 2 balls and no strikes on Enbody. Van Marder waiting in the on-deck circle. Valoria out to the big lead again at first. Going on in the air to center. Playable for Riker, who's got it for out number 2.
Shortstop number 4, Tyler Van Marder.
Two down, Valoria still at first. And here is Van Martin. Brock Bueno would be next if Van Marder can keep it alive. And meanwhile, Valoria mistimed as he starts towards second, but fortunately for UAV, Park not able to pick up on it right away as you get a look at the replay there. And Park sees it a little bit late. So another opportunity for UAV with Van Marder at the plate. First pitch and a cut and a miss from Van Marder as he went after the fastball from Park. Van Marder 0 for 3. Grounded out, popped out twice. Breaking ball, low, a ball. Tyler Van Marder came in batting .286. Solid series against La Sierra this last week as UAV takes 2 out of 3. He went 4 for 10 in the series at the plate. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Van Marder is a power threat. 2 home runs on the young season and just 21 at-bats coming in. So danger here for Park. Another throw over. Bring you back to live action with a 1-2 count on Tyler Van Marder. Breaking ball on the ground past a diving Aversa into center field. A base hit for Van Marder. They'll throw to third trying to get Valoria. He's safe. It's runners at the corners with 2 down, and Brock Bueno coming to the plate.
Second and third now.
Indeed, as Van Marder alertly able to take second as the throw came to third. And that is potentially of great importance in a 2-run game. Now a base hit to the outfield by Bueno with 2 outs in the inning. And we could be talking about a tie game once again. That's a great job on the base pass by Valoria to challenge and try to go to third. And the throw coming from Riker in center field. And there was a bang-bang play at third, so it's hard to say that Riker made a mistake by going to third to try and get Valoria and potentially end the inning. But by making that challenge, it opens up the possibility for Van Marter to take second and get another runner into scoring position. So an interesting play. And the aggressiveness on the base paths that was the scouting report on UAV shows itself again here at the top of the seventh. That's Bueno now with an opportunity. Base hit here. We might have a brand new ball game again. At the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bueno. 0 for 1, he's grounded out. He's been hit by a pitch twice. Hunter Reed, another dangerous bat, waits on deck. If Bueno can keep it alive. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and away, 2 balls and a strike. Uneventful first couple of innings in the game for Brian Park. He's got a bit of a jam here at the top of the 7th. Here's the 2-1. This one hooked foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brock Bueno. Came into action today 5 for 11 on the season. Had just 1 at bat in the 3-game series against La Sierra. But he's back in the lineup today. 2-2 pitch. On the ground right side, it's through for a base hit. We might have a tie game. Here comes the runner. And now they have him caught up between third and home. So it's going to be an RBI single for Bueno. But on the play, Van Marter not able to score. And that keeps it at 7-6. Watch the replay one more time here. Now you'll see that's a great job by Diaz again behind the plate. Let's stay with this replay one more time here, Mike. See if we can get home plate again on it. Because this ball takes kind of a funny little hop. And Diaz is able to just stab that ball. If that gets away, we're talking about 7-7. But he's able to stab that ball and then get the tag on Van Marter in the rundown.
Yeah, and Van Marter.
1 run, but not 2.
Van Marter had stumbled, and you didn't really see that on the replay, but Van Marter stumbles. Let's see if we can see that one more time here. So we'll keep it here. And then we'll see this, and then it's there. And then we see that with Van Marter falling down. We didn't have a shot of that, apologies. But 7-6.
Yeah, that explains an awful lot, because with 2 outs and the runner going on contact and Van Marter with good speed, then there would be no reason to think that he should not score on that play. And obviously that explains an awful lot. A little bit of bad luck for UAV as Van Marter with a stumble going around third, and that is the only thing that allowed for the play at home. And then give a lot of credit to Vanguard. A good throw from Grady Connor and right. A good play by Diaz to keep it in front of him. Remember, if Diaz doesn't come up with that ball cleanly on that funny little hop, it's all for naught and it doesn't matter, and Van Marter can walk in with the tying run. But he's able to come up with that ball cleanly.
Can you go?
And Vanguard
can you
gets
go out there?
So, you know, Michael,
with a battery?
Sometimes you're good, and sometimes you're a little lucky.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the bottom of the 7th set to get underway. And it will be Joe Johnson, followed by Sutton and Connor. 4, 5, and 6 due up in the order. Bottom of the 7th inning in a 7-6 game. Our first NAIA broadcast of the season here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And we have got a really good one here. And the fastball inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. As Demchuk back on the mound for UAV. And the pitch just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Johnson's had a big day at the plate, 2 for 3, a double and a home run, 4 runs batted in for Vanguard, and it's really gone a long way toward breaking Joe Johnson out of a little mini slump that he was in coming into this one. But I think it's safe to say, Vanguard fans, that he's back with a couple of hits today, and they have not been cheap ones. He has hit the ball hard, and he's been timely. 3-0. That one misses, and a leadoff walk on 4 pitches.
Go back to
Joe Johnson.
Go back to the home run earlier from Johnson, a 2-run bomb.
Every word of them rolling stones. Stacy's mom had it going on. Lived 3 doors down. I can see her now.
We're gonna have a pitching change.
That'll be it for Demchuk, who's had an eventful inning plus in the game. We'll step aside, come back, tell you about the new pitcher in just a bit. You're watching NAIA Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So the new pitcher is Manny Perez, who moves from first base. So hopefully, Michael, you can get a word on what other changes took place in the field, but obviously there'll be a new first baseman as Manny Perez will move to the mound.
I have 10 at first.
All right, sir.
And Perez in warm-ups, topping.
Dominic.
Go ahead.
It's Dominic Enbody at first, which means we also have a new catcher. So we'll work through it as Perez gets ready to work.
Perez topping out at 92 in warm-ups. So you talk about a live arm.
First pitching appearance of the season for Manny Perez, but this is not out of left field, if you will, as Perez is listed as a pitcher on the roster. It's his first appearance here today and pops the glove but misses a little hot. 1 ball and no strikes.
And getting word.
So Enbody now at first.
Toronto guy, they need a little faster.
Jeffrey
We'll
just
have a new catcher as well. There goes the runner, and that one gets away, and it's going to be an easy stolen base for Joe Johnson.
Last two pitches, 95, and then that last pitch that went to the backstop, 93. See the stolen base here.
Good jump, I should say, for Joe Johnson.
Yep.
Obviously, got a little bit easier as that one gets back to the backstop. 2 balls, no strikes to count on Sutton, who's 0 for 2 with a walk in the game. Johnson away from second. 2-0 pitch, and that one way outside, and some pretty noticeable control problems for Perez coming in to his first batter here. Well, we've had Major League as something of a something as a standing reference for the day, and that one's in there for us. No, it's not. Boy, that looked pretty good, and Perez doesn't get the call. So Sutton with a walk. It's 2 walks on 8 pitches for UAV pitchers here in the bottom of the 7th in a 7-6 game.
Yeah, Perez channeling his inner Ricky Vaughn.
That's what I was thinking. It was a little early, Wild thing. But remember, some great pitchers have had control problems early on. Look at Ryan. That'll bring up Connor. 1 for 3.
Or Nuke Lelouch.
Set a lot of new league records. Looking to square the bunt. That one gets away and back to the screen, and the runners will move up. So 1 ball and no strikes. And the adventure continues for UAV here in the bottom of the 7th. Trying to keep this at a 1-run game. Interestingly, they haven't moved into all 4 positions yet. They're in on the right side, and now here comes Van Marter creeping in at short. So they are in at all 4 infield positions with a 1-0 count on Connor. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike, and you can't really blame a guy for going after a fastball a little up in the zone, but I think right now, from what I've seen from the UAV pitchers, I think the bat would have been on the shoulder until they could get one over. Trying to bunt this one, and does back to the box, though, and Perez will have the easy play to first, and nobody moves. So Johnson remains at third, Sutton at second, as Connor fails to get the runners over with a bunt. And it remains second and third, now with 1 out. And the batter will be Omar Ortiz, who's 0 for 3.
And control, Jeff, obviously an issue here, but you also have to factor in, this is a cold catcher coming in and facing or catching a pitcher that's throwing it at 95 miles an hour, and he's peaked down all the way to 74. That's a big range. He's got some movement on the curve.
Yeah, do you have a number on the catcher yet, Michael?
I don't. I have the straps are blocking the number. I'll see if I can get one during the break.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to update you on what on all of the changes in the field. Meanwhile, runners at second and third with 1 down, and here's Ortiz. I'll tell you, if I could think of all the things that I wouldn't want to do on the baseball diamond, how about trying to lay down a bunt against Manny Perez? Not too easy.
Pretty frightening.
It's just not easy to get control of a fastball, but it's got some movement on it too. It's a good job by Connor even to get one down, even though it went right back to the box and ended up being an easy play. That one's back to the screen, but it takes a good bounce for UAV right back, and the runner's forced to stay put. So a break there for the Pioneers. The count now a ball and a strike on Ortiz. And the runners still at second and third. Diaz on deck for Vanguard. They lead this one 7-6 in the bottom of the 7th. Single meeting between these two teams before both go back to conference play this upcoming weekend. Fastball outside for a ball. Two balls and a strike on Ortiz. Here's the pitch. Way inside, and again it gets back to the screen. This time the runners break, and they will move up, and Vanguard pushes the lead to 8-6. Well, you keep on playing with fire as the ball really being thrown all over the yard. And as you alluded to earlier, Mike, it's a tough assignment. New pitcher moves over from first to the mound, and new catcher comes in. Trying to corral some pretty nasty stuff, and a couple of pitches get away, and this time the Lion runners are able to move up, and the score now is 8-6. 3-1 the count, still only one out, so the infield stays in with Sutton at third. Big swing and a miss. Full count now. Well, it's a little tough to tell from this angle behind home plate. Not quite as clear, but I think it's been pretty much all fastballs, Mike. I don't know if I've missed anything.
A couple of
I think for Perez, it's been a pretty steady diet. Back to the screen and a good cut for Ortiz. Count still full. Yeah, you did mention the one pitch that came in at 74, so he has shown another pitch, but it's been a fairly steady diet of fastballs from Manny Perez.
We apologize.
Here.
We apologize. We don't have the center field camera shot as of right now. Working to get that to you shortly.
Fouled away by Ortiz. Does that mean that Johnny on the spot Jorge Ortiz or Jorge Zepeda is working on that?
You would be correct.
Jack of all trades for SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Yes, sir. It's like the Swiss Army.
Still 3
knife.
and 2 on Ortiz. Payoff pitch. Back to the screen again. And a nice at bat from Ortiz. And Mike, you have the sense in this at bat that Ortiz is starting to get dialed in a little bit. He had a good cut after coming up empty with a couple of swings earlier in the at bat. Now starting to get dialed in a little bit to the fastball of Perez. Let's see if Manny Perez elects to make an adjustment. With a full count on Omar Ortiz. Potential insurance run 90 feet away with Sutton at, with Sutton at third. And only one out. Here's the pitch. Fouled away again. The battle continues for Perez and Ortiz.
I was going to say, quite the battle up here.
Perez up on the rubber. Here we go. And again, fouled away. You still getting a reading on Perez on these pitches?
I am.
I'm assuming he's still up over 90.
Yeah, he's topped out at 95, but he's been ahead on 90 for a lot of them.
Just outside, and Ortiz works the walk. Perez taking some extra time. The infield will move back up the middle to double play depth. Ogle remains about even with the bag at third, as N-Body now at first holds the runner on over at first base. First pitch in there for a strike, and that to me looked like the off-speed pitch from Perez. Again, can't be entirely sure from this angle. No balls and a strike on Diaz. Quick throw over. Ortiz back. We're in the bottom of the seventh. Vanguard against a very game UAV squad that had a 5-2 lead earlier. But now the Lions have grabbed an 8-6 lead, and they're looking to add potentially a couple of more here. A 1 pitch from Perez. On the outside corner. Now it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And they'll chase Ortiz back one more time. Diaz ready. The pitch inside a ball. Perez would love to coax a ground ball here off the bat of Diaz if he possibly could. They can get themselves out of the inning. Meanwhile, Diaz just looking to drive one somewhere. On the ground to short. This could be 2. Over to second for 1. The relay in time. Just what the doctor ordered if you're UAV 6-4-3. And they're out of the inning. But Vanguard able to add a run on no hits. No errors. 1 left on base. We're heading to the 8th. Vanguard with the 8-6 lead over UAV. NAIA Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
For the Pioneers,
Park will continue on the mound for Vanguard. This will be his 4th inning. And he will work to Hunter Reed, Josh Miranda, and Jacob Ogle. First pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Reed, who's 1 for 2. A single and a walk and 3 trips. Foul back to the screen. And I believe that this is a pinch hitter, so let's try and correct that for you. And it looks to me, yep, Will Garcia, who I think is also the new catcher, is at the plate with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Garcia, who sees an awful lot of time behind the plate and at first base, working with Dominic Enbody to man those 2 positions. Off-speed pitch from Park in there for a strike, a ball and 2 strikes on Will Garcia, making his first at-bat to lead off here in the top of the 8th inning. And there is a good look at Park as he winds and delivers, and Garcia able to just get a piece.
Got a piece of himself here.
Garcia had a quiet series against La Sierra. Came into this action today batting 200, no home runs, 1 run batted in. He was 0 for 8 in the 3-game series against La Sierra. And big cut and a miss, and he goes down on strikes as Park continues to be very solid.
13,
trying to close this one out potentially for Vanguard as UAV bats here in the 8th inning, running out of outs. They still trail it by just 2 at 8-6, but they're down to 5 outs. And that'll bring up Josh Miranda, first pitch swinging on the right side to the pitcher covering, and a nice job by Park getting over to get the toss from Johnson to retire Miranda. 1 pitch, 1 out on Miranda, so 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Jacob Ogle, 1 for 2 with a walk. Again, first pitch swinging. Foul ball on the left side and out of play, so Ogle still alive. UAV had come in, winners of their last 2 games, taking 2 out of 3 against La Sierra this last week. Doubleheader sweep on Sunday to take that series as that one misses inside. And we just missed a showdown at the top of the Golden State Athletic Conference as Hope International took on Vanguard. 2 balls and no strikes now on Ogle. And that saw the 2 teams split that 4-game series, 2 games apiece. Right now, just 1 game separates those 2 teams in the standings. Ogle again fouls it away. I believe now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's affirmative. Trip deuces.
2 and 2 on Ogle. Well, we know where your mind is. Park ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just inside. A couple of random big plays in this game as you look back, Michael. Think back to just the very last inning and the base hit by Bueno and the stumble by Van Marder on the base pass, and that takes a run off the board. As Ogle is down on strikes, frozen by the hook from Park to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning with Vanguard leading the University of Antelope Valley 8-6 NAIA baseball. here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Looks like Elijah Weeks leading things off. Pinch hitting for Lee at the bottom of the order after Lee took that pitch off the hand in his last at bat back in the 6th inning. So Weeks will step to the plate, take that one at the knees for strike one. Here to start the bottom of the 8th. Vanguard leading it 8-6. Oh, one pitch. And that one way high. 1 ball and 1 strike. I assume it's Will Garcia behind the plate. Inside a ball, 2 balls and a strike on Weeks, leading things off. Big swing and a miss. Count even up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perez with a long look. And Weeks down on strikes as he goes after the high fastball. 1 down.
Now batting for the Lions.
And that'll bring up Aversa at the top of the order. Travis Aversa 2 for 3 on the day. A single, a double, he's walked. Now to key this offense for Vanguard. They lead it 8-6. And Perez, after something of a shaky start, the double play to get out of last inning, and then he fans Weeks to start the bottom of the 8th. Now he goes to work on Aversa. Big swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Aversa, who has extended his hitting streak now to 8 games. Now up to 35 hits on the season in 92 at-bats. Continues to swing the bat well. Fastball outside and high. Count evened up, a ball and a strike. But if you're just checking in, it's been the Joe Johnson show for Vanguard with a double and a home run and 4 runs batted in. That one inside, 2 balls and a strike. nip and tuck affair throughout. Both teams have led, but Vanguard closing in, leading this one 8-6 here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch from Perez on the outside corner to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Jeff, just to clue you in, we have lost the center field camera shot for the remainder of this game. So apologies to everybody watching. We're down to 2 cameras.
2-2 now on Aversa. Outside. Full count now. Well, to be fair, it's still a nice view of the outfield wall, the trees, the scoreboard, the nearby housing. Swung on and driven to center, but right there is Valoria.
Batting for the Lions, center fielder number 3,
And
Landon
Valoria
Riker.
does such a great job patrolling center field for this Pioneer squad. Solid glove up the middle. And what a nice thing that is to have for the various UAV pitchers. A guy who can go get it in center field. So 2 down. It's Valoria. Retires Aversa. And that'll bring up Landon Riker, who's 0 for 2. He was walked and does have a sacrifice fly as well. You're looking ahead to the 9th. It'll be the top of the order for UAV. One last chance here, trailing by 2. That one paints the outside corner for strike 1.
0-1.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Gapper.
Line drive into right center. And this one is caught.
Wow.
What a great job on the run by Miranda. Just hung up long enough. Let's watch the replay here.
After 8 innings, the
As
Lions
Riker
8-6.
puts the screws to this one and lines it hard, but a great jump and the stab by Miranda out in right field to rob Riker of extra bases, and we will head to the 9th. 8-6, Vanguard trying to close it out here against UAV on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Brian Gomez.
So a new pitcher, Matthew Lester, on to try and finish it out for Vanguard. Brian Gomez scheduled to lead off. First pitch fouled away, and it looks like we do have a pinch hitter for UAV, so we'll get to work on that. And that is, no, it is Brian Gomez. Okay. So Gomez 1 for 3, a single and a sacrifice fly. On the day, Lester's fastball is high. A ball and a strike. The count here, Gomez, Valoria, Perez, and if anybody reaches, Dominic Enbody, due up here at the top of the ninth. Vanguard with the 8-6 lead. Back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lester rocks and fires. On the right side in foul territory, and Johnson going to run out of room. Count still a ball and 2 strikes. UAV back in action on April 2nd with a doubleheader in Lancaster against Bethesda University. The first 2 of a 3-game set between those 2 teams.
I believe Matt Robinson will have the call of that.
Meanwhile, Vanguard has this one a drop third strike, but they'll throw down to get Gomez for out number 1 here to start the ninth. And for Vanguard, they're back in action on April 9th as they will wrap up their regular season with a 4-game set against William Jessup College. And that will take place on the 9th and the 10th, back-to-back doubleheaders. So 1 down, and Valoria will be the batter. First pitch from Lester, fastball high for a ball. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and we're doing a little experimenting ourselves here at the company, and great job, Michael. A lot of work to go into trying to put this together, a challenging endeavor, try and work to continue to make ourselves more versatile. And we've been trying the remote broadcast and splitting the broadcast between 2 locations. And my congratulations to you, my friend. Good job.
Hell of a job on play-by-play today, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. 2 balls and a strike. And yeah, we've forgotten that, the weather's been so cold, Michael. We've almost forgotten that keeping the cameras cool, we haven't really had that problem for a little while, but maybe some warm weather is coming. But did have our center field shot for a little while, and that was great to see, and we'll obviously keep working on that as well. But we're able to bring you the whole game here. One way or another, we'll bring you to the end. Fouled off, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, to update you, the camera didn't die. We were just not allowed to have it there anymore. So.
Is that what happened? All right, well,
the battery died, and then when we tried to go back there, they had to remove it. So,
okay. Yeah, it's always a bit of an adventure, isn't it?
That's all right.
Just a little, another live streaming story. Called strike 3 of Valoria. Down on strikes, and Lester announcing his presence with authority. Michael, can we drop it in with back-to-back strikeouts here in his first inning of work? And now he's just 1 out away. As he'll work to Manny Perez. Perez 1 for 4 on the day, an RBI single back in the first inning.
And Lester getting the lawnmower out early.
This was a fascinating back-and-forth game, a ball and no strikes. Now the count on Perez. Both teams really have had many, many moments in this one, and you go back and UAV at one point led it 5-2, but I think one of the storylines is the great work out of the bullpen, starting with Brian Park, and now if Lester can really finish it out. But Graves did a great job of getting out of a jam in the second. And then after the 5-2 deficit, Park really came on and did a great job surrendering just 1 run in 3 innings, and now Lester trying to close the door. Contributions all over the place for both teams. And I have the count at 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1, 2 outs. Lester topping out at about 87, 86 with a 75-mile-an-hour curve.
See what he does here. 2-1 on Perez. Tried the inside corner, but it's a little low. 2 balls, I should say 3 balls and a strike. Now on Perez, just trying to keep it alive. One more batter to the plate. Dominic Endbody waiting on deck. He has swung the bat well today. Pioneers need 2. Here's the 3-1 pitch. A little low. 2-out walk for Manny Perez. We're not done yet.
Catcher number 10, Dominic Endbody.
And Dominic Endbody will get an opportunity. 1 for 4, but he's hit the ball hard. A couple of flyouts, lined hard to first, and then a double as well back in the 5th inning. Lester ready. This is outside. Endbody 3 for 12 in the 3-game series against La Sierra. On the season, no home runs. He did come in with an average of 348. Misses low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And I think if you're Lester here, maybe trying to be a little too careful. Especially with Perez, you 2 down, base is empty, you got the 2-run lead. I think if you're Matthew Lester in that situation, the one thing you don't want to do is walk him. Keep the game going, and now he seems to be working pretty carefully to Endbody. And that draws a trip out to the mound for Diaz. Let's see if Lester can get back on task. Vanguard just 1 out away. Obviously striking out the first 2 batters of the inning. Lester has the stuff to go after these guys. High and away. So now it's 3-0. See if anybody has any kind of green light. If he gets one he likes.
Garcia, the starting pitcher today, he had a similar situation where he had the first 2 batters, but then a 2-out rally by Vanguard opened things up earlier.
And that's a walk on 4 pitches.
Now batting for the Pioneers, shortstop
Hold everything.
Tyler Van Marder.
As now the tying run is on with Tyler Van Marder coming to the plate. He's 1 for 4, a single his last time up. And Van Marder absolutely has the power to take it out of here. A couple of home runs already on the young season for Tyler Van Marder. And that's 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in just 21 at-bats coming in. He is coming off a series against La Sierra in which he went 4 for 10, but 2 of those 4 hits were home runs. He had 6 runs batted in the 3-game series. So this guy could be a one-man wrecking crew. Outside for a ball. And just like that, Lester having all kinds of problems finding the play. Look back at the runner. Just outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Meanwhile, Chad Sutton at third, really hugging the line, trying to take away the extra base hit. Outfield back a couple of steps. They want to keep the ball in front of them. A ball to the wall here. We're talking about a tie game. Back to the screen.
I mean, I would just throw a pillow.
2 balls and a strike on Van Marder.
Interesting right now. It looks like Coach Pegg for Vanguard is out of visits, so he can't go out there without having to take out Lester. Can't settle him down.
Well, we saw Diaz go out earlier, but now the situation, Mike, becomes ever more precarious with each passing pitch. High again, 3 balls and a strike. Now the count on Van Marder. And a walk here would be quite significant for UAV. It would put the potential tying run in scoring position. Now you're talking about a base hit can tie the game. So a walk for Van Marder here would be big. 3-1 pitch. Outside, another ball and another walk.
Now batting for the Pioneers, second baseman number 2, Brock Bueno.
And that will bring up Brock Bueno with a chance to be a major hero. Bases juiced. 4 UAV. All this started after 2 were out. Bases were empty, and we're going to have a pinch runner out at second base. I don't know if you caught a number there, Michael.
Jeff, can you say that again?
I know we have a pinch runner at second base. So if you want to make that so a runner for end body, but I did not catch the number, so we'll see if maybe that comes into view at a certain point. But nonetheless, bases loaded now for the Pioneers with Bueno at the plate, who's 1 for 2. A single and a ground out. He's been hit by a pitch twice. And what a spot here for Bueno, who back in the 7th inning came up with a big 2-out hit that looked for all the world like it was going to tie the game at that time. That one well outside. 1 ball and no strikes now on Bueno. But, of course, the stumble, as we talked about, for Van Marder rounding the bases, kept it at a 1-run game then and brought the inning to a close. And now we will have the visit, and Coach Pegg has made the decision that it is time for a pitching change. So we'll step away briefly, come back with the new pitcher. Hold everything, top of the 9th. 8-6 Vanguard trying to close it out here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. New pitcher Jared Greer, the right-hander, will come in to try and get the last out here for Vanguard, clinging to an 8-6 lead here in the ninth. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Brock Bueno. The new runner at second base, by the way, is Sam Rogalos for UAV. First pitch from Greer in there for a strike. So the count even up at a ball and a strike. Lester left with a 1-0 count on Bueno. So that evens the count at 1-1. Rogalos at second carries the all-important tying run. Meanwhile, Tyler Van Marder at first, a potential go-ahead run. Off speed on the corner. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes, and UAV down to their last strike. The infield really shaded around to play Bueno to pull. This one is lifted into left field, moving over. And it's Buxton who will take it. Just in front of the track. And that will wrap it up. Here from Costa Mesa. Buxton drifting over as that ball continued to carry. But had room just in front of the track. And Greer comes in and shuts the door and closes out an 8-6 win for Vanguard.
Let's send out some thank yous here. Able to put this together with the help of SID here at Vanguard. Jeff Melton, head coach for Vanguard. Rob Pegg. Special thanks, of course, to Joe Aversa, father of Travis Aversa, who had a pretty nice outing here today. And Jeffrey, thanks to you, buddy. I know there was some technical stuff at the beginning that we had to work through, but we did it, and I'd say this is a successful outing for us.
Yeah, luckily we're used to that after, 10 years, I suppose, so there's that. Experience is always a benefit. Good job, my friend. It was a lot of fun. Hey, listen, this was a great game. This was just an initial foray for us, but this was fun stuff, so hopefully everybody enjoyed it, getting to see the game, and a couple of great teams here put on a great performance. So congratulations on both sides, and hey, Vanguard 28-7 on the season. They roll on.
That'll do it for us in our coverage. NAIA baseball GSAC coverage continues on the Vanguard website. Check that out. Also, Matthew Robinson helping us out as well. Had a conversation with him earlier today, play-by-play announcer for UAV, and they are back in action coming up in just a couple days. For Jeff Cepeda, I am Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff. I am Mike Cepeda, signing off here from Costa Mesa. Take care, everybody.